各位观众朋友，大家好，欢迎收看《全民开讲》，我是阿珍。宗教具有凝聚信念、安定人心的力量。人类在生活中少不了宗教的抚慰。从历史的角度来看，宗教具有举足轻重的地位。美国是世界的大熔炉，包容各种种族文化与宗教信仰。每年的1月16日是美国的国家宗教自由日，为的是纪念维吉尼亚议会在1786年1月16日通过维吉尼亚宗教自由法令。这是美国追求宗教信仰自由的年度重要纪念日。美国总统每年也都会发布文告，重申宗教自由对美国社会的重要性。这样的信念也体现在美国宪法精神中。台湾同样是崇尚宗教自由的国家。宪法第13条规定，人民有信仰宗教的自由，是指人民有自由信仰或不信仰任何宗教，以及选择参与或不参与任何宗教活动。国家也不得奖励或禁制特定的宗教，或者对特定信仰给予优待或不利益。保障范围也包含内在的信仰自由、宗教的行为自由以及宗教结社的自由。立法原意其实很好，很完善，但是我们国家有依法落实吗？今天我们就带大家来了解台湾一个长期而严重的宗教信仰与人权迫害案，就是有法税228之称的太极门冤错假案。太极门是一个古老气功武术修行门派，承传道家心源。掌门人在1966年成立太极门气功养生学会，这个团体是登记在内政部中华武术学会、中华气功学会的团体会员，也是台北市道教会会员。掌门人传授弟子人生哲学智慧，并引导其性命双修、修心养性与强身健体的功夫。另外，太极门同时也是国际性非营利的公益文化团体，在掌门人的引领下，师徒同心，以文化交流的方式，在全球5大洲散播爱与和平的理念。至今已拜访101个国家、300多个城市，参与3000多场国内外文化展演，促进国民外交，也让世人认识太极文化之美。然而，这样的名门正派，竟然早在25年前就遭遇到莫大的冤屈，至今仍未平缓。我们先来看一段影片。
What is the Taijimen case and what the Taijimen case is not? The Taijimen case is a case of freedom of religion or belief form, which we can divide in 4 times. Time 1, we all know that Taiwan enjoys religious liberty, unlike mainland China, but it was not always the case. Taiwan had a policy of controlling and repressing independent religious movements during the martial law period and beyond. And in 1996, religious and spiritual groups suspected of not supporting the president were severely repressed. Taijimen was also involved in this, even if it never took political sides. Its grandmaster or Shifu, Dr. Hong, was arrested and members were persecuted. Second time, the total victory of Taijimen up to the highest courts in Taiwan. Taijimen won all the court cases, Dr. Hong and his co-defendants were declared innocent and even awarded compensation money for the past unjust detention. Time number 3, however, a byproduct of this form persecution remain in the shape of tax bills. Even if the courts had said there was no tax evasion, the Tax Bureau continued to try to impose bills on Dr. Hong and Taiji Men. The Tax Bureau revoked all the bills except one for the year 1992 based on a technicality. And time number 4, even if courts of law told them not to do it, the Tax Bureau and the Enforcement Agency in 2020 auctioned and then confiscated lands belonging to Dr. Hong and intended for a spiritual cultivation center of Taiji Men. Now, it's important that we understand what the Taiji Men case is not. It's not a tax dispute between a citizen and the government. It will not create so much commotion. Of course, the case shows some injustice in Taiwanese tax bureaucracy, but we should remember that the root is a form. It's a freedom of religion or belief case, and what is done to Taiji Men is violation of form. Number 2, it's not about money. Taiji Men might have settled with the tax office and spent much less money than they did in prosecuting this case for 25 years, but it's about form. It's not about money, and that's why the case continues. And number 3, it's not a protest against Taiwan or the Taiwanese system. Those of the Taiji Men who live in Taiwan, who are Taiwanese citizens, they love their country, they are patriots, they understand Taiwan has a lot of problems, and precisely because of this, they want Taiwan to have a good image as a country where form is respected. So it is a form case, and because it is a form case, thousands of people are in the streets in Taiwan protesting about it. And because it's a form case, I believe it deserves to be internationalized, and all the governments, agencies, NGOs caring for form should care for this case and not to be misled into dismissing it as a private tax dispute between a citizen and the state, but understand that fundamental principles of freedom of religion and belief and respect for spiritual minorities are at work in this important case. Thank you.
1996年12月19日，检察官侯宽仁带领调查局大批人马搜索太极门。搜索当晚，中视新闻立即播出搜索的画面。侯宽仁则隐匿账户余额61万元的事实，释放假消息说太极门涉嫌漏税31亿元，蓄意抹黑太极门。接着在4个月的侦查过程中，电视新闻大肆报道，并且不断的渲染假新闻，根本就是挟媒体办案，试图利用舆论将太极门定罪。至今仍有许多民众只记得当年宗教扫黑时的新闻，而不知事实的真相。当时侯宽仁罗织罪名，说掌门人养小鬼、诈欺，并以此收押师徒多人，以压逼供，又造假证据，甚至僭越职权，违法发函内政部， 污指太极门为邪恶宗教团体，要求解散太极门，后又违法发函给台北县市政府公务局，直接要求对太极门断水断电。一个检察官怎能如此的恣意妄为，大张旗鼓打着宗教扫黑的大伞，其实就是要太极门完全无法运作而灭门。所幸在历经10年又7个月后，3审确定判决无罪无欠税，然后相关人员也获得冤狱赔偿。虽然司法早已还给太极门清白，但是国税局仍执意用错误的依据违法课税，使太极门虽然解开刑事冤案的枷锁，却深陷税务冤案的漩涡。侯宽仁一方面以诈欺起诉，一方面勾结税务员史月生作伪证，以弟子的净司礼认定为学会，发单课税。总统府人权咨询委员黄俊杰教授指出，净司礼是基于精神信仰认同所做的赠与行为，是宗教信仰自由及参加文化生活之自由。同样是供养赠与，国税局对太极门与其他武术宗教的奉献却做不同处理，独独认定太极门有对价，这样的差别课税已经违反2公约的禁止歧视文化原则。何况全国数万个武术团体及宗教团体，从无因收受净司礼或供养金而遭课税的。另外，同一笔金额怎么可能同时是非法诈欺所得，又是合法学会呢？何况太极门至今成立56年，从无课税问题，怎么会只有1991到1996年这6个年度需要课税呢？国税局没做实质调查，没证据，直接以起诉书的陈述来开单课税，这是违反正当法律程序、违反证据法则的。简单说，根本就是违法课税。更何况法院都还没判决确定所得性质，怎么就直接开单呢？真的是荒谬至极！一张至死无效的税单，竟然折磨了太极门25年。再说，2007年7月13日，刑事3审判决确定无罪无欠税后，理应撤销违法税单，不但没撤销，国税局官员还公然说法院判的不算，还用被刑事法院推翻的起诉书内容继续开单课税。太极门税务冤案自进入行政救济以来，18次在诉愿会及行政诉讼赢得胜诉，却每一次又回到原点。法院判决不应该只撤销复查决定，而不撤销原核课处分，这造成原处分始终不动如山。人民赢了等于没赢，有救济等于没救济，永远摆脱不了税单的纠缠。虽然国税局2019年将5个年度税单更正归零，却独留1992年税单不撤销，并在2020年违法拍卖太极门的修行道馆预定地。为何不撤销1992年的税单？因为在刑案尚未判决确定之前，行政法院就判定太极门败诉，执行署竟然就以此错误的判决执行拍卖。太极门税单源自刑案，怎么刑案还没判决所得性质，当时行政法院就直接宣判了呢？这是不对的。依行政程序法第117条规定，违法行政处分于法定救济期间经过后，原处分机关得依职权撤销，其上级机关也可以为之。但是国税局与执行署却互踢皮球不撤销，最终仍旧强行违法拍卖，并收归国有。在太极门案中，除了侯宽仁检察官外，还有一个关键人物， 就是前财政部长张盛和。张盛和从台北国税局局长一路高升到财政部长，他隐匿证据、伪造文书、倒卖民产等种种违法行为不断，一手干预太极门案至退休，瞒上欺下，僭越一府五院职权，致使太极门案至今仍无法解决。说穿了，就是因为检举奖金已经分了，官也升了，生怕违法征收的诸多换性被揭穿，必须负担刑责，所以只好一直将错就错，不断发动稽征程序，意图借由行政救济的失误、失能与失效，为他们的违法行径脱罪。25年来，他们剥夺了多少太极门师徒的人权，包括生存权、财产权、信仰自由权与文化权等等。如此没良心的行径，真的罄竹难书。即使如此，太极门师徒并没有被打倒，反而以自身的税灾经历，致力于法税改革运动，呼吁政府重视户税人权，正视税灾户的痛苦。常年的人权迫害也受到国内外专家学者的声援与支持。现在我们来听听无国界国际人权组织共同创始人兼执行长 Mr. Willie 对太极门案的看法。
The title of this conference, Education, Conscience, and Tax Justice, is quite appropriate for enlightening the never-ending fight of Taiji men for justice. And all the speakers who have preceded me have abundantly illustrated the content of the book, Who Stole Their Youth, that has just been launched. So I will not repeat or summarize what has been said before me, because their testimonies and analyses were sufficiently explicit. I will rather focus on the message that Taiji men has sent to the world outside through its 24-year-long battle. Conscience is what characterizes our human nature. And human beings are the only living beings on earth that have awareness of good and evil. This feature constantly needs to be preserved, nurtured, and developed through space and time. Yet this can only be achieved through education. Moral values are the blood that irrigates the minds of human beings. Family, school, religious, and philosophical movements are the arteries and the veins through which the blood of spiritual values can give oxygen to the human conscience and make it grow. This is what Taiji man has been doing for decades, teaching and training the disease to live according to their conscience and according to their spiritual values, whatever the price to be paid, and never to compromise. Integrity, dignity, respect, compassion, love, and peace are at the heart of their values and of their life. Taiji man's teachings make the disease aware of good and evil. Taiji man's teachings are the blood that irrigates the souls of the disease. And the best ambassadors of Taiji man's teachings to the outside world are the disease themselves, because they are the living testimonies of their spiritual values can regenerate individuals and society. However, the fight for the well-being of people also means to fight against evil forces. One of those evil forces in Taiwan that Taiji man has been facing for 2 decades and a half is the National Taxation Bureau. And it's a lie. Prosecutor Hu, nicknamed the Judicial Rambo. Quite a number of Taiwanese speakers before me have already exposed the circumstances and the details of the war waged by the tax administration and Prosecutor Hu against Taijimen in violation of the foundations of democracy, the rule of law, and human rights. These have courageously testified about their sufferings for following their conscience. A book entitled Who Stole Their Youth has just been published in Mandarin. It is an invaluable source of information about the magnitude of the damage caused to Taijimen and the disease by evil forces because they chose to follow their conscience. Fighting for justice is the right fight. And as Massimo Intravini stressed in its introductory remarks, the followers of Taijimen have learned in the hard way an important thing. If they didn't find themselves for their rights, nobody would do it for them. And they courageously did it. They did it very courageously, I must say. Some were not even born when the case started, and others died in the meantime, sometimes because of the huge stress coming from that ordeal. Then Christine Meir from CAP, Freedom of Conscience in France, shared with us some other examples of fights for justice, and especially for tax justice. And the cases that she referred to were in France from groups that were blacklisted by the French state and subsequently persecuted for years by the tax administration. All of them won their cases. But the most dramatic one concerned Jehovah's Witnesses, as they had to fight for more than 1 decade in domestic courts and several more years in the European Court of Human Rights to obtain justice. The reimbursement of 4 million euros unduly charged and confiscated by the French state was returned to the Jehovah's Witnesses. So it was worse from that point of view to fight the big fight against the administration. But it's not a matter of money. It's a matter of justice. It's a matter of principle. Then I would also like to stress the testimony of Boris. He also encouraged the Taijimen disease and other supporters to fight for tax justice. And from his experience in Russia, he noted that behind the persecution of minority religious or belief groups, there are always anti-cult activists. And also, the false accusation of so-called tax evasion is really an easy one to be used to isolate a group and to isolate a group from the rest of society and to bully it until its destruction, if possible. So there is a strategy behind those attacks against Taijimen. And then I would like to stress as well in the introduction by Marco Respinti, a very interesting comparison that there is a no-fly zone somewhere where the state is not allowed to interfere. It is a safe haven that is almost a sacred place. And in the case of Taiwan, the state has crossed the red line. It has crossed the red line, and this has had tragic consequences, because in such cases, when the state interferes in the private sphere and in the autonomy of a religious group, it's not only disputable, but it's always very bad, as Marco stressed. For almost 25 years, Taiji Man has been fighting against a number of evil forces and has chosen not to compromise with them. It would have been easy to pay a modest fine and hereby get rid of a burdensome and never-ending judicial battle. But Taiji Man has refused to follow the apparently easy road and has chosen to follow its conscience. Taiji Man had not cheated with Taiwan tax administration, so there was therefore no other choice than to refuse to admit any non-existing wrongdoing and any supposed guilt. By just paying an illegal tax and a small fine, Taiji Man would have recognized its alleged guilt. It would have lied. It would have made a perjury. It would have denied itself. It would have lost its face and its credibility forever. It would have sold its soul. It would have offered a total victory on a golden plate to the evil forces which want to weaken and destroy it. So Taiji Man made the right choice, but a difficult choice. Taiji Man preferred to spend the necessary time, energy, and financial means for justice with a capital J, whatever the cost. Justice not only for themselves, but for all those who are victims of the oppression of the tax administration. Taiji Man's battle is not only for Taiji Man and his disease, it is a battle for the well-being of all the Taiwanese, for Taiwanese society, and for the image of Taiwan on the international scene. Taiji Man's voice and deeds have attracted many Taiwanese experts in legal and political matters who have joined their voices to its fight for democracy, the rule of law, and human rights. Taiji Man's education program raises and awakens the consciences of those who thirst for righteousness. The conference, Education, Conscience, and Tax Justice, and the book Who Stole Their Youth perfectly reflect the battle for justice with a capital J, fought by Taiji Man and the disease. In the fire of oppression, they have shown a dead-rock faith in their values, and they have passed the torch to the next generation. Thank you very much.
如同 Mr. 威利所说，太极门冤案是国家干预宗教团体的自主权。近25年来，太极门一直与恶势力抗争，选择不妥协。他们当初其实可以选择缴纳一笔微薄的罚款，就可以摆脱无止境的司法战。但是太极门拒绝走这条路，而是选择了遵从自己的良心。常年的坚持与抗争，就是为了公理与正义。我们从太极门案看到了行政权践踏司法、伤害司法威信的事实。因此，台湾迫切需要法税改革。然而，至今法税改革的速度牛步，甚至远不及社会冤案新增的速度。因此，公务员的良心才是关键。所谓正人用邪法，邪法易正；邪人用正法，正法易邪。若能秉持良心，即使制度不完善，也会想尽办法减少侵害人民的权益。在此期盼犯错的政府官员能早日彻悟，良心觉醒，台湾的未来才会更好。今天的全民开讲就到这里。感谢各位的收看，祝大家平安健康，我们下次见，拜拜。